Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring and 60 million two pens ready to rock and roll for you. One, I am sorry that I'm late for you guys. Just had another amazing young man that is trying to pass his electrician's apprenticeship. Didn't know I would be doing that, but here we are, and Audrey's expanding her reach. Okay, so one, I do apologize for being late, but I am prepared for you. So what we're going to work on today, yes, you're going to need patience and you're going to need time. Okay, now, composition of functions is basically a combination of two or more functions. Really, basically the ones we're going to be dealing with is two functions at the time. Whereas the result of one of the functions is going to become the input of the other function. So the best way that I can describe this is you always work from the inside out. Okay? So think of it. It's almost like Twinkies. Remember, you had that lovely cream filling. For those might know, like lava cake, you got that delicious deep chocolate that's inside, or maybe a baked Alaska if you're into that. You know, you got the ice cream on the outside and all this stuff. So it's always like there's some good stuff that's going on the inside, but then you have to break open in order to get there. So the best way that I am going to do this is to show you. Oh, do I, Gloria? Didn't mean to make anybody crazy. I know. It's either I'm like so entertaining or I am basically killing your FYP. So it's either way, I'm going to make people nuts today. Yay! All right. And let's hear it for the new pens. Hey, new Sharpie pens. Got them on sale. I know. I went to the evil Walmart. I couldn't take it. All right. I needed to get paper because everyone else was trying to sell paper like crazy. So, anywho. All right. So, let's get started. So, let's say, I'm going to shift over here for a second. Let's get with our first example. Lovely glide. So, we're saying that the f function, the f of x, is equal to 2x plus 3. Then we're saying that the g function, and I'm going to keep it simple for right now. So let's say the g function is 5x. Now yesterday, for those that remember, I was telling you guys a little bit about that there is a difference between composition and multiplication. So when you see it set up with a circle, okay, it looks like it's spelling out the word fog, right? So when you see the word fog being spelled out, instead of comparison to, let me see if I can pull out yesterday's notes, compared to what we were doing yesterday with the dot, when you see the dot, that means multiplication, okay? When you see it extended like this, that means multiplication. So you're taking whatever your g function is, whatever your f function is, you multiply it together to come up with the g of x, baby, right? So now, when we're talking about composition of fogs, or of functions, we're basically saying that this g of x, that's the juicy gooiness that's in that lava cake, okay? The f is that soft sponginess that's on the outside. So this is how it's written. You have the f of g of x. So this is telling me that I am taking my g of x and I'm plugging it inside of the f function. So if I may, let me see if I can shrink it down just a hair and try not to push any weird more numbers. So if I have my g function, I'm substituting this 5x in for x in the other function. So it looks like this. I have a 2 and a parenthesis, and I'm plugging in that whole g of x function, which is going to be 5x. So that g of x is going into the f function. This is why I like to say work it from the inside out. Okay? You're always going to work from the inside out. Got hit, what? Then I got hit by a dump truck at 16? Oh my goodness. All right. So now, we have our 5x is being multiplied by 2. So 2 times 5x, that gives me 10x. Then this plus 3 comes on down. So 10x plus 3, those are two separate worlds. We can't combine them. So we just found what the f of g of x is. This is my answer. Okay. All right. So we're substituting sum in for most. Hello, Robert. Hey, Davy boy, how are you? Hello, Janice. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. All right. So all we're doing is working from the inside out. So let's take a look at another one. So this time we have the f of x. And remember, the function can be anything. 3x minus 1. And then we have the g of x is equal to 2x minus 2. And this time, we're not going to do fog. We're going to do golf. Like golf? So when I do golf, that means the ooey gooiness that's inside the lava cake, can you tell I'm hungry? Is going to be my f of x. Okay? So the f of x is what's going to be placed inside of the g function. Okay? That's going to be what's placed inside of the g function. Hello, Spotlight. How are you? Good evening to you. So when we go in, anytime I see an x, I'm going to plug in my f of x function. So that means it's going to be 2 parenthesis minus 2. Okay, that's the g function. And what's going inside is my f of x, which is simply 3x minus 1. Okay. So whatever is last, that's what's going inside of the previous function. So like we did up here, we had the g of x being going into the f function. Now we're doing the f function going into the g function. So all we have to do is we have our distributive property with the 2. So 2 times 3x, that gives us our 6x. 2 times 1 gives me my negative 2. Then we bring down the negative 2. But we do have like terms. So my like terms is going to be the negative 2 minus 2. So since we have our 6x, we bring that down. And then negative 2 minus 2, when they're both negative, that means you're adding them and keeping the negative sign. So that gives me a negative 4. So that means the gulf is 6x minus 4. Okay. Questions? Okay, I appreciate the follow. You'll be back tomorrow? Okay. Well, Gloria, I'll be here at 9:30 tomorrow. 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Okay? I'll be here. Okay? And if anything, I will try to get the recording and put it on my YouTube channel. So if you need to see it then. Hello, Sir Eagle. How are you? Okay? Of course. Of course. So, we are, let's go with, let's try this one. So I have 2x squared minus 5. Oop, forgot to write f of x. Got too excited. Okay, my f of x is going to be that. So sorry. Then we'll have our g of x. I'll just stick with the f and g as of x. So I don't want to confuse any more than we have to. Okay, so we have the f of x, we have the g of x, and let's say we're trying to find the f of g of x. Okay. All right, you just saying, hello, Queen. Okay, I was gonna say, let's. All right. So, right now we're doing fog. Okay, so that means we're putting the g of x inside of the f function. So the f function is going to be my outside. So that gives me 2. And I'm going to put a spacing for my x minus 5. So what's going to go in is your g of x. And our g of x is represented by this x plus 3. Okay. This is algebra. Algebra 2, actually. Okay. Devontae, what are you doing? What's that? Okay. Hello, Kathy. Thanks for the follow. Okay. All right. So now, what we have to do, remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, okay? We need to take care of our exponent because inside the parenthesis, we have x plus 3, so they're not like terms. So the next thing is dealing with the exponents. So let me zoom in right here. We are not bringing the 2 in. The 2 is multiplying the result of that exponent. So I have x plus 3 squared. So x plus 3 squared is just another way of me saying, and I'm going to put it down here, x plus 3 times x plus 3. Okay? So that's just another way of doing it. And I'm just going to bring everything else down. But our main focus is going to be right here in the center. We need to take care of that before we do any multiplying or subtracting. All right. So now we have to do what's called the distributive property. So some of you guys know it as FOIL. So we multiply, we're going to distribute this x to everything inside of the second parenthesis. So when I do that, I have x times x, that gives me x squared. X times 3, that gives me a positive 3x. After I distribute that x to everything inside that first parenthesis, now I'm going to distribute this 3 to everything inside that second parenthesis. So we have 3 times x, that gives me a plus 3x. And like some of you said, 3 times 3, that gives me plus 9. So with that, again, I'm just focusing right on my two factors here. So now I have my x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. So if you notice, right here in the center, we got like terms. So with that being said, we bring down our x squared. 3x plus 3x, that'll give me 6x. And this plus 9 that we have here comes on down. Okay. So we just have those two like terms, yep, because this has an x and this has an x. X squared, completely different world. Okay, so let me arrow it down so you know where that came from. So now we're going to bring down, I know it's a whole process. We're going to bring down this -5, but remember, we were multiplying this 2 to my original x plus 3 squared. So that means we need to multiply what we just found in red by 2. Because if you remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, after we do exponents, we got multiplying. So I'm going to cover all this so it won't look so overwhelming. Okay? So now we're actually going to do the distributive property. So this -5 we're not going to mess with just yet. We're going to distribute everything inside here by the 2. I know it's a whole process, right? Okay. So 2 times x squared gives me 2x squared. Bring down my plus sign. 6x times 2. 6 times 2 gives me 12. And we bring down its x. And then 9 times 2 is 18. So that'll be plus 18. Okay. So we took care of that with the distribution. So now all we have to do is bring down that -5. And that -5 actually has like terms with the 18. Okay? So that means we have 2x squared plus 12x, and 18 minus 5, that gives me my favorite number, 13. So the x squared, forgot about the x. Okay, the x squared, the x, and this constant, they don't have any other like terms. So that's how I know when I stop. So yes, all of the shenanigans, right? We have the f of g of x is going to equal 2x squared plus 12x plus 13. This is your final answer. Okay, no problem, little Joe. I know, right? I love it when I was in school. It is a lot. That's a lot. I'm not even going to sit here and lie. But try to do this when you're dealing with college algebra. There are some problems that will take you from top to bottom of the page just for you to get an answer of 0. Are you bleeping me? Censoring my own self. Okay. All right. Hey, Blue Girl. How are you? So glad to see you came back. All right. Yes, I know. It's so frustrating. But this is what you're doing. My thing is, like, this is actually ASVAB. I've seen it in a lot of ASVAB practice tests. I've seen it in a couple of GED practice tests. And I saw it in the TEAS practice test. I don't know. And I was helping a young man, as I said earlier, with the electrician's apprenticeship. And I saw him doing these. Okay, so I guess we're expanding on a lot of the trades and really trying to get a lot of that algebra component. So there is no escaping it. So if you're thinking about jumping into those exams, please let me know, because I can help you out. And as you can see, I can try to break it down step by step. Yeah, it is like a puzzle, and that's exactly what it is. Okay, you're doing exponents. All right, cool. Not as much. Okay. Yep, AP Calculus as well. Thank you, Robert. Yes, there is no. You're gonna see it. Like, there's no escaping. You're like, can I not deal with this? I would love to say yes, but I will be lying to you, and I do not feel like lying. Okay? All right, so let's do another one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand on it, and I'm actually going to put a value in for the x, and I'm going to show you how you can break it down. You'll probably be able to figure it out, but I'll be able to try to break it on down. Okay, I found out that I had dyscalculia. Oh, yes. Draw errors everywhere. Exactly. I'm telling you, Sarah, trust me. That's why when I was in the classroom and I would teach things like this, I would always use different colors. And I always, well, of course, I would make more room than this. And I would give like more space for we can see the arrows and then we can see the whole process. So that's why I like to continue on and teach with pen. I know it's crazy. It's being daring. She's like, you're not a true math teacher. I know. I'm just on the edge. But it's easier to see when you have like color pencils, or maybe now they got erasable pens that are color. You could probably use the erasable pens. And I know TikTok Shop has a few of those. I might want to add that to my TikTok Shop. Yes, it really does. And you don't have to say, okay, my greens are going to be for this and my blues are going to be, that's a little too extreme. Yeah, because then you have to remember which was a green, which was a blue. And sometimes, yeah, just pick different colors. So if you're going step by step, it'll help you guide you through. I ordered a month ago. You should have gotten it by now. Yeah, because all of them have been released, Ashley. How long? It really shouldn't take you a month. Okay. Yeah, you should have that. You have books? Yes, I do. Yeah, Ashley, you should have gotten your books. Is it the one that you order on? Did you order it off of my website? Because those are the digital ones, and you should have gotten a link to those. Okay, so the link should have been with the confirmation page. And I think that's probably what happened. Okay. Okay. All right, let me know, Ashley, because if not, let me see what I can do. Okay? Yeah, I won't leave you in the lurch. Yeah, because usually at most it will take okay, because at most it will take 2 weeks for the books to come in. And I know I had an issue, but we got it settled. So I know Michael is going to be happy. I'll be able to get his books ASAP to him. All right. It's easier when you do it that way. That refreshes my mind since high school. Aging me. I was like, no, you're not aging. There you go, Michael. There he is. I was like, I know he's got to be in here somewhere. Yeah, because there was a problem with, okay, so every book should have this number because this is like the identification of the book. And the books that I received did not, because when I did the self-publishing, they did not have this code. And I was raising all kinds of heck because without this code, anyone can take my information and claim it as their own. And yeah, Mamacita is not about that life. Because I work way too hard for all this stuff, okay? Just want to let that be known. All right, so if anything, you guys can go ahead and tap while I set all this stuff up. I'm just going to focus on 2 functions, and we're just going to manipulate those 2 functions. So you won't have to be like, which function is which, Audrey? I don't know. So we're going to take it that way. So we're going to work on this F function. I'm going to see if I can put... I'll put it underneath. Okay. All right, so we're going to do a couple problems and we're going to focus on just those functions. So one of them, we're going to work on the g of f of 2. This is going to be our first example. Okay. Yeah, I know, Antonio, you received yours. I know, right? You're 80. Oh, well, welcome in. There's a receipt you paid for on the 17th. Okay. Yeah, there should be a link with it. Okay, if not, Ashley, I got you because I still have your receipt that you did pay. So I know you're not like trying to jip me out of anything. So I'm going to figure it out tonight, okay? Yes, Desmos does make algebra so easy. But here's the thing. When you take the ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, TEAS test, even the what was I supposed to say? The GED, you can't use Desmos. You can use Desmos for the SATs now, but you can't use it on those assessments. They haven't approved it yet. So, I don't know. Yes, of course, Ashley. Of course. Yeah, I don't jip people. I don't do that at all. Because I appreciate you guys' support completely. All right. So now, yes, it does. Trust me, it does. And then some people are starting to expand and saying that, are you measuring the calculations or are you measuring, do they know how to use the calculator? So it all works out. All right, so right now we're finding the g of f of 2. Okay, so we don't have an x, we have a 2. So remember what I said, when you're trying to solve this, work from the inside out. So that means I'm looking at the f function. So with the x function, instead of an x, I'm going to plug in my 2. So now we're going to solve this. So 4 times 2 plus 3. 4 times 2 gives me 8, and then 8 plus 3 gives me 11. So now we're not done. We just found what was going on with the f function. So now we're going to take this answer and we're going to plug it in for x in the g function. And with the g function, we basically have your x minus 7, and our x is going to be 11. So 11 minus 7 will give us our 4. So what we're saying is the g of f of 2 is going to equal 4. So basically, you do what's inside first, solve for that number, take that output and make it the input of the outside function. Then you do its substitution and solve. Bada bing, bada boom, you got your answer. Okay. Okay. You didn't use Desmos on your SATs, Matt? Were you doing the digital version? Hello, Lisa. See how minor changes will cause the function. Yes, it does. It really does a good job manipulating. Trust me. Okay, Marky D, missed it. What do I call this? This is called the composition of functions. Let me flip over for a second. Okay, so this is called the composition of functions. So basically, where the output of one function you can use for the input of another function to find your solution. Okay. Okay, cool. I was like, yeah, do what you gotta do. Trust me, this just started with this whole digital SAT, and they're just giving people the Desmos. I have a feeling it has to do with FRAP, but we shall see. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, I'm going to be using the same function. I'll just write it over right next to it. It'll be a lot easier. So we have the f of x is equal to 4x plus 3. The g of x is equal to x minus 7. So I'm using the same functions as before. But this time, I want to find the g of f of negative 5. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you for the rose. Oh, big smiley. Thank you for the hug. Never knew I needed a hug. All right. Man, I must have really chased a lot of people out. Everybody's like, nope, she's doing math, we're out. We're done. Okay. So all we're doing is working from the inside out. That's all we're trying to do. Okay, really? I guess, no. I was like, I appreciate you guys being here. But it's just like, 1 minute I was like, oh, okay, 500 people. All right, that's crazy. But let's keep it moving. Okay. The fear of math. Oh, good. I hope you do. Yes. Okay, you still a little confused. Okay, I'm willing to help. So, Pog saying negative 24. Okay, Ruby's got negative 24 with question mark. Lisa negative 17. Ruby negative 24. Confident. All right. You're confused too. All right, no problem. Okay, I appreciate your honesty, guys. I appreciate the honesty. Okay, I can still show you how it's done. Oops, let me turn it that way. Okay, all right, so Lisa's saying 24, Michael's saying negative 24. All right, so we kind of have a little bit of a battle, not much. Hello, user, yeah, all those numbers. Okay, so we have our two functions. We have an f function and a g function. We always want to work, when we see a composite function like this, we always want to work from the inside out, okay? We want the nice, I don't know, the lava cake filling, okay? We want the lava cake. So the G is like the cake exterior. The F is like that nice ooey gooey stuff inside, okay? So we are not looking at the G function just yet. So we're just looking at the f of negative 5. So that means the f is telling me which of the two functions I should focus on, which is my f function. And I'm going to have 4 instead of an x plus 3. We're going to plug in the negative 5 for the x in that f function. Okay. All right. I appreciate you here, Blue Girl. I appreciate that. Okay. Okay. So now, 4 times negative 5, that gives me a negative 20. So negative 20 plus 3, that's where I think someone had negative 17 at one spot. Okay. So we got that for my f function. Okay, that was that other part. There we go. So now we found the ooey gooiness of the lava cake. Now we still got to eat the beautiful cake. Okay, you can't just be, what are you, taking a straw and sucking it into the lava cake? Burn your tongue. Okay, so now we're going to take this answer and we're going to insert it with the G function. Okay, so we took our answer and we're plugging it into the G function. So the G function is x minus 7. But instead of an x, we're going to plug in my negative 17. Okay. All right. So now that we have negative 17 minus 7, we can figure that answer to be a negative 24. Because since both of them are negative, we're going to keep the negative sign and just add the numbers. When they're the same signs, you're adding. When they're different signs, that's when you're subtracting. Okay? So you just keep your negative. So we got our negative 24. So that means our answer of G of f of negative 5 is equal to negative 24. All right, good. There you go. Well, all you're doing is just taking it step by step. All right. Well, thank you, Marky. All right. So we're just taking things step by step. So you don't want, when you get to these composition functions, these are definitely for GED or 4-point questions. These are definitely advanced questions for ASVAB. Because when you get to the ASVAB, if you start seeing more of your factoring and more of, like, say, volumes of cylinders, that means you're basically up in those 50s and 60s and close to 70 range, okay? So usually, remember, they have like their own special tiering. It's like the better you're doing, the harder the questions are gonna get. Whereas the GED, you have 4-point questions. There's 1-point, 2-point, 3-point, 4-point questions. Anything dealing with linear equations, that's slope, equation of the line, graphing a line, system of equations, even the composition, volume of a rectangle prism, volume of a cylinder, all those are 4-point questions. And the more of those 4-point questions you get, and also some of the adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing fractions and decimals, you get a good handful of those, you'll be able to pass the test. Because I don't think a lot of people are telling you that all the questions are not of even value or equal value. All right? Here you go. So all you have to do is just take, yep, we can definitely do another one. To fully understand it? Awesome, Marky. Appreciate that. All right, so going to use the same functions. I think that's helping too, with me not flipping all over the place. So if I'm using f of x is equal to 4x plus 3, and then, where's my red? We have the g of x is x minus 7. And what I would like for you guys to find, let's say, ooh, should I? I'm gonna give it a try. I want you to find the f of 7. You'll probably say, what? Or you wrote F twice. I know. Yes, the highest math you'll see in GED will be Algebra 2. And it's not even talking about circles so much as of, like, the definition of a circle. They won't take it that far. But they will do factoring, they will do Pythagorean's theorem, they will do a little bit of trig, that's the whole sine, cosine, tangent, finding the angle of a triangle, of a right triangle, they usually hit on those things. Okay. All right. So you're saying 24 is the answer? Okay. Right. Okay, got 127 from Pog. Yeah, and that's all the other thing, like the probability. People tend to like skip over those. Don't skip over those, because some of those probability questions are 3 and 4 point questions as well. You don't have to, and this is another thing to ease your mind, you don't have to get 100, guys. I know you want to be like, hey, I'm super smart, I'm intelligent. Of course you're super smart and you're intelligent. You're walking, you're talking, you're breathing. You know, some of you guys actually have given birth to babies. Some of you guys have conceived babies. Some of you guys have made like 4 or 5 decisions just today, and you're still alive. You are intelligent. Don't let this test tell you that you are or you are not. Okay, you're basically using this test to basically achieve what your goal is, so then you can show your greatness to the world. Okay, don't let this test define you. You're using the test. Okay? You own it. All right? All right. All right. You're out? Why are you out? And I'm lost. And that's okay. And that's how I feel. All right, good. Through geometry, I don't get how to solve this question. And that's okay. It's all right. Okay? You just finished geometry. So now we're getting right back into a little bit of algebra. So, working from the inside out. They're telling me on the inside, I need the f of 7. That means I'm looking at the f function. So looking at the f function, we have our 4, and instead of an x, we're going to plug in the 7. Okay? So we're working on the inside first. So here we have 4 times 7, that gives us 28. And 28 plus 3 gives me 31. Okay, we're okay. Oh, you see it now? Hey, Roxy. All right. So now, we did the inside. Now, we're working on the outside function. And the outside function so happens to be the same function that we were just working with. But this time, we're looking at the f of 31. Okay, we took our previous answer, our output, and now we're making it into an input. So that gives us 4 times, and we'll put the 31 plus 3. So we didn't have to do anything with that g function. That was a little fake out, okay? So now, this side with the f of 31, we're not doing anything. You're just using this to remind yourself that the 31 is going in for the x. So we can cover that up. So now, we have 4 times, let me use green, then we have 4 times 31, so that gives us 124. Bring down the plus 3. That's where the 127 came from. So all we're saying is that the f of 7 equals my 127. Okay? Makes sense a little bit? All right. Well, thank you for the roses and the things. I appreciate it. Yes, so that's what we do. We plug that 31 back in. Yes. Oh, the g of x made you out? But see, I'm glad you stayed. Isn't that right? Yes. So it's constantly going back. All right. Let's try one more. I know, I beat Michael to the punch. One more. All right, so let's do this. Okay, keep with the same functions. I know, why not? So we have the f of x is equal to 4x plus 3. And red pen, here we go. G of x is equal to x minus 7. All right, so I'm going to put this up here, and I want to know what the answer is. So I'm going to leave you alone to it. So if we have the f of g of 4. Okay, so I'm going to leave you be with that. I think I'm going to lower this down just a little bit so you can see the previous work. And try not to have it too cockeyed. Yeah. Coming after my 7s there, Michael. All right, that is a 7. All right, so we got a -9, we got a 15, a -9, Lisa with 12, Michael with okay, JB with a 15. Uh-oh, some comments are filtered. What kind of nastiness are you putting in there, guys? Let's keep it clean. I got some homeschool kids that are watching these. I bet you they're real educated, especially the last 2 lives that I was on. Parents are like, oh no. You can't listen to her. Sacrilegious. All right. My mom calls. Okay, we got -9. Okay, Janice, we're saying 19. Michael, we're saying -9. Roxy, came way too late or lost. Okay, I can walk you through it. Okay, Marky, you changing up on my girl? Okay, you got my -9. Okay, I'll take that. Spotlight, saying -9. All right. So, we need to work on the inside out. Okay, so we are going to cover up the F, so we're going to work on the G function, G of 4. So the G is telling us which of these 2 functions we're going to work with. So we're going to work with the G of X. So we're saying with the G is equal to 4, we're saying that instead of an X, we're going to put a 4. So now we have 4 minus 7. That gives me a -3. So that's going to be the result of G of 4. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take our F function and we're going to look at the F of that result, which was a -3. So we took this result and made it into an input. So since we're looking at the F function, we're coming up here to the F function. So we have 4 times the X plus 3. And inside the X, or taking the placement of the X, is the -3. Okay. Oops. Okay. Am I blocking? Probably. Oops. How's this? Okay. A little bit better, blue girl. Does that help? Hello, General. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Just when you thought you had it right, that's okay. Okay. All right. So, when you have 4 times -3, thank you. So 4 times -3 gives me a -12. Okay. Plus 3. Thank you for the hand heart. That was precious. I think that was Marky. Oh, it's Marky. All right. So now you have -12 plus 3. That gives me my -9. So if we put it all together, the F, oops, got a little crazy with that. The F of G of 4 is -9. Okay. All right. Questions? I like this one. Does anyone have a question and you just don't know how to put it? I used to be that way. All right. Who am I saying used to? I am that way. But I have a question, I'm like, I just don't know the words, how to put it together. You know, other than say, you think you do? Okay. There you go. You did it. Me. Yes. Okay, what kind of math is this? This is still algebra. More so Algebra 2, but it might be for some advanced Algebra 1s. To put it. Okay. Need practice? Okay. Keep getting mixed up. That's all right. But see, here's the thing. We're doing math at like 9-something at night. We keep forgetting about that factor of, oh, I don't know. You might be like insane right now. You probably had a whole day of doing all kinds of shenanigans. Oh, here comes the puzzle piece. Let's see if I can line it up. Oh, dang. All right, there we go. Okay. Aaron, how are you? Let's focus on that. Yes, so if it's a g of g function, yes, you would just focus just on the g. Because we did something similar right here. Okay, when it was an f of an f function, we didn't have to worry about the g function at all. We just focused all our attention on the f. So you can do that. With that first step, okay. Problems in the future, I will try to. I will try to. Okay. Still trying to. Yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, no problem. Don't feel awful. You're starting to make changes. Okay? All right, not a problem. Okay. JB, I will try. I will try. But there will definitely be word problems for the upcoming, which is starting mañana for some people. I am running a summer math course. It's going to be 12 weeks. We'll see each other twice a week. It's either a Monday, Wednesday, which is at 4:30, or a Tuesday, Thursday, which is at 7 p.m. So yes, I will still be going live, okay, here on TikTok. But it's going to be a very interesting mix of mathematics. I'm going to try to do a little more advanced stuff, a little more Algebra 2 stuff, because Algebra 2 people need love too. All right, but if you are thinking about getting after your GED, your ASVAB, or even the ACCUPLACER, or also the TEAS test, there is still time to sign up for the summer math course, because my goal is at the end of the 12 weeks, you are taking your exam. There is no ifs and buts about it. Do you think I'm ready? Just take the blessed test, okay? And if you feel so inclined that you want to take it before the end of the course, you can do that as well. I just want to give you the encouragement, okay? That's all I really want to do. I just want to give you the encouragement for that. So if you are thinking about it, please reach out, because I'll even show you exactly where you need to go. But before I get to that, I'm going to kind of do my spills. So someone asked, do I make books? Yes, I do. I have my math notebooks. So if anything, I designed all this. And what I do is I try to get a lot of notes, a lot of figures in here, spaces for you to write your information, any of the formulas that you need, and also the steps that you need to take. And then it gives you room to write some example problems, as well as some more example problems or work problems on the other side. Now, when it comes to that, it's not just notes as well. It also has, as soon as I can get it, it also has references in the back. You know, just like the composition used to have like the multiplication chart, which no one looks at, all right? But now you got a factor chart. So this factor chart goes up to 1 to 200. Not even 100, 200. Okay, we got the rules of integers. We have the most commonly used words for most word problems are listed here. Sorry, I'm trying to turn the page. Okay, we have linear and quadratic equations, and also their discriminant at the bottom. We also have the order of operations, the properties of exponents, properties of quadrilaterals, which will help you a little bit with geometry, as well as your rigid and dilation transformations and their rules. A lot of kids usually forget about those. Then you have the area of the sector, arc length, volume, surface area. Then you have your area and perimeter of your most used circumference for the circle, most used shapes. Then you have the unit circle for your Algebra 2 and pre-calc kids, as well as some of the trig functions and trig identities with the Pythagorean theorem and the SOHCAHTOA. Now, afterwards, we have a little section for a brain break. Everyone needs a brain break. Sometimes it might be just a cute little puzzle, okay? Maybe a couple puzzles, or give you some space just for you to doodle. Okay, you can doodle. If you're into pixel art, you can do a little pixel art as well, okay? So that is my math notebook. There is 3 different covers, but the interior is still the same. Then there is the one, if you were like, you know what, I like your notes, Audrey. Like, do you have your notes? Yes, I do. Okay. So now that they actually see what I'm saying? They didn't put the code on there, but they fixed it. So I should be able to send you your stuff, Michael. So if anything, I have a book that has all the notes since February the 2nd. All of my notes from the very beginning. So it's like a mixture. It has a little bit of slope. It has a little bit of radicals. It has a little bit of geometry, probability, and everything from the sun. But the one thing that I like about this is there is a QR code. So if you notice, you can scan the QR code and it will take you directly to the live that's associated with these notes. So you can use it to follow along. You can use it as remediation. You can use it for enrichment. If you are a homeschool parent and you're like, you know what? My kid just does not get the different platforms. I wish I had someone like you that actually breaks it down step by step. Bada bada bing, bada boom. You got it right here. Okay? So if anything, you can have all those notes. Right now, we're working on book 4, but what is out is book 1, 2, and 3. All right? So, yep. And I'll have all the dedications. So that's what is for sale. But there is a course if you're more so self-paced. Yes, you can go to my website and let's take a little field trip. Don't have the higher math. I remember graphs, volumes, and that. Yeah. All right. So let me show you. Field trip. Let's go on a field trip. All right. Field trip to my computer. All right. So if you go onto my profile, so it's Audrey Codner. There's my picture. We're live. Yay. And then you'll see my website. Okay, you can click on it and it will come up. I know that was really bright. Sorry. And it will come up that you're going to go to an open link. Open anyway. It's going to take you directly to my website. Trust me, we're not taking all your information. I don't even know what the hell to do with it if I did. So if anything, we got my website. You can listen to me if you want. If you need help with tutoring, I can tutor you as well. Okay, these are the things that I do, but this is the part that I'm talking about. So you want to pass the GED, the ASVAB, and the TEAS test. You want to register, and yes, we are going to be starting tomorrow. So by 2 o'clock tomorrow, I'm going to show you. Okay, so if I scroll down, it will kind of give you all the steps. And there's 2 different options. Now, What's going on here? Here we go. I wasn't full screen. Okay, so this is what happens. So we have Zoom sessions twice a week for 12 weeks. Okay, there are replays just in case you're missing it. Because remember, this is last minute and it's a summer. You might already have like summer plans already situated, but you do get the replays as well. You get copies of my notes. Okay, so I would be sending out, once we finish the notes, I'm going to scan it, I'm going to send it to your email, and then you'll actually have copies of the notes. Although you're probably going to be copying either with your own book or you're going to be copying with just a regular notebook that you have. Then we are going to be given some homework. I'm not going to kill you with the homework because I know, again, it's the summer, but just enough for you to get some practice in there. And then also I'm going to mention some test-taking strategies. Then in the first session, we're going to do our Q&A session at the end. But from session 2 on, we're going to be starting off our day with the Q&A session. We're going to talk about it for a half an hour, maybe less, and then we're going to go right into the lesson. It all depends on what the questions that you have. So if you don't ask questions, I'm going to assume that you're all right. And I know you're not going to be all right, so you don't need to lie to my face. Okay, all right. So real life examples, my motivation, and the whole thing. There's no pressure, there's no judgment, just breaking down content in order for you to be successful on those assessments, okay? So with that, just saying who is it for, and then this is basically going to be the price. Now, this 147, that's going to close at 2 p.m. tomorrow, okay? I'm really pushing it to 2 p.m. tomorrow. Yes, there is a payment plan. So if you're just like looking, oh, I ain't got that. Well, I got a payment plan. All right, there's no excuse. So it could be 2 payments of $75, but I also have another payment plan which I keep forgetting not to update on here, but I can have that discussion with you. So think about it. It basically comes out to $6.13 per session. Remember, it's 24 sessions. I'm seeing you twice a week for 147. Who else is doing that? You can always come here. Can't hear me? I'm muffled. Am I still muffled? Because sometimes I have a habit of covering my microphone. Because the way I'm holding this phone, and this phone is hot, then I don't know what. Okay. So, no, I'm good. Okay. All right. So the supportive bundle, this comes with like 2 free sessions. Okay, so, and of course you get like a nice little certificate of completion. Yeah, my whole thing is I want you at the end of this course to take your GED. I want you to take that math GED, so that means we're going to figure out a way roughly halfway through to say, all right, let's start thinking about signing up for your GED. Okay, let's think about signing up for the ASVAB. Go ahead, talk to your recruiter and figure out when is the date that you can sign up for it. Okay, when are you taking your TEAS test? If it was supposed to be June 24th, I heard was like the next one, and then after that, I'm hearing is January. Now, here's my thing. If that's the case, come to me in the fall because I am going to run this course again in the fall. Okay. And I am going to keep it around the same pricing. It'll go up at the next year, obviously. But for the fall, I want you to get it as close to that assessment. So if you're taking TEAS and they say the next one is going to be in January, if you don't do in June, come, just save your money because I don't want you to learn all this, be done in August, and by the time it's taking your test in January, you're going to forget. You're going to be just like the kids. The kids usually forget tons of things just on a 4-day weekend. All right? Imagine how we are as adults when we got to take care of bills and kids and animals and all that stuff, right? Okay? All right. So if anything, that's going to be happening for those prices. So you just have to go to my website, just click on the link, and then once you get to, oops, let me swing back over here. Okay. So once you go into my website, you'll come down, scroll down, or you can use the navigator, which is over here. That's perfectly fine. All right, just click on the learn more. Now, for people that want to get books or get my notes, Audrey's notes is on my website as well. You can order books 1, 2, and 3 for my self-publishing. But if you want the digital copies, I have digital copies of like bundles of books 2, like 1 and 2. And then if you want all 3, there'll be the bundles as well. Then if you guys want to do basically self-paced courses, I have those too. So if you're just like, yeah, I think I'm going to be taking my test in December, and you want to do self-paced, you can do self-paced as well. All right. And the same thing with this. All you have to do is just message me, and we will actually do like a refresher if you have any questions. I'll have office hours so you can ask your questions, because you're not going to be by yourself in all this. All right, so just have fun with my little website. Oh, you got good. Okay, yeah, I did get an alert said it was. Okay, I had to go to summer school for math. Aw. Yeah, I did summer school a couple times myself, especially for algebra. Still, I went to tutoring, I went to all this stuff, and I still could not. Oh yeah, these are like my coloring books. I know I don't talk about my little coloring books and empowerment books for young ladies. And then any blogs and podcasts that I've been on. I used to have my own podcast, Two Tutors Talking. And actually Robert was on there as well. So just a little bit about me, little testimonials. Have fun reading them. And then contact me. If you want me for tutoring, if you have somebody or you know somebody that is struggling with math and they need a math tutor, you trust me, AP, anything, that is not me. That is Robert. Remember I always say I got a guy? Robert's now on TikTok. So yay, Robert. So let me give you a whole listing of people. Oops. Destroying everything. Okay, let me give you a listing of people that you would love to follow. So if you're thinking about going into nursing and you need someone to help you with your your dosage calculations, you can follow a Blessed RN. If you also need some more assistance with T's, ASVAB, or GED, you can visit Ms. Taylor of Impact Math 19. She'll be live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you're looking for a chemistry tutor, Professor TK, she is amazing. She's actually going to be doing some fun stuff over the summer, so be on the lookout for that, especially for parents that are doing staycation and they just want to have some fun activities to do. Instead of you thinking of it, let her think of it, and then just plop your kid in front. Have fun. All right, just try not to blow up the house. Anyway, we have the Abacus Math, my friend Learning with Lynette. She usually comes on like 2, sometimes 3 times a day. So definitely give her a follow. And she has a few books on TikTok that will actually help educate you on adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing using the abacus. If you have any pre-K or kindergarten kiddos and you're really into homeschooling and you just don't know what to do with reading and with math, you can follow my friend Nancy. She's called the Online Elementary Tutor, and she has been doing like homeschooling forever. Okay, so she'll definitely have resources, and she'll be a great resource. And just in case you want her to tutor your child in anything, go ahead and do that. And then last but not least, with any AP stats, if you have a kid that's about to go into AP, going into statistics, calculus A, B, or BC, maybe even that crazy AP pre-calculus, that is not me. Okay, that is Robert, the AP math guy. He is perfect for the job. He is my go-to. Anytime I get someone that's doing calculus and my schedule is getting wacky pataki, I'm like, Robert, I got one for you. And then we just take it from there. So that's all we're doing. That is it. Ooh, I'm doing something on my computer and it's acting crazy cray. And I don't know where you guys went. Okay, there you are. All right, so if you guys have any questions whatsoever, be it with the course. If anyone signed up for the course and you haven't received your link for the course yet, please let me know, because I think I did. But sometimes when you're doing something at 2 o'clock in the morning, your mind kind of wanders a little bit. Okay? All right. To teach my dad to teach me the basic tens. It was hard. I don't remember any of that. Yes. So hard. Yeah. All right. Good. All right. All right, everyone. So I'm excited what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm excited what's... Oh. Okay. Okay. I don't know. Got some kind of restriction. I'm not sure. I've been getting a lot of restrictions lately. 'Cause I'm just a rebel. All right. So anyway. Do you learn the basic tens? I do not. Yeah, that's like... Yeah, that's a little... Not like it's out of my range. Like I know as far as that goes, the scientific notation with the basic tens. Okay. Greek to you. I know, right? All right. Now, I think Ashley, she might still be here. If not, I'll definitely message you and see what's going on with that. So if anything, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the taps. I appreciate it, and the gifts, and just being here. I greatly appreciate that, because you could have easily scrolled by. All right. So thank you. I will be on tomorrow, but at 9:30. Okay. Monday through Thursday, I'm here at 9:30 p.m. So if there is, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. I think I'm doing rational notation, or radical. Can't remember which one, but it's going to be something kind of notation that's happening, or functions. All right. Well, have a lovely evening or a lovely day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. What is the number one next to my text? What is the number one next to my text? Oh, you are my top contributor. I had to look. I was like, I don't know. Yeah, you're my top contributor. Congratulations. Thank you. It's like all the coinage. Maybe all the taps. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. All right. Okay. Well, have a good one. And what happens if you need to, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If anything, for my ACG math tutoring, all of my replays for TikTok is there. Okay, it's a free subscription. You don't have to subscribe to watch the videos, but it would be nice so I can build up 2 places at once, to be honest with you. All right? Okay, so I will see you guys later. Take care. All right, bye now.